Yeah. Namaste. Welcome to Sampur Nari Talks. And today I welcome you all. We have Shilpa Kulshestra with us. I am Poonam Upadhyay. I am your host, and today I am going to learn. We all going to, in fact, learn from you. I am founder of Tathastu Holistic Health and co-founder of Sampurna Nari. And we have come out with this unique and beautiful concept known as Sampurna Nari Talks, where we are speaking with influential and motivators like you who will influence and motivate other women to come out of their shells. So welcome Shilpa, welcome to our talk. We are very grateful you accepted our invitation and you are happy to share your journey with us.
Thank you, Poonam. Such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much. And let me tell you all about Shilpa. So, she is a motivator, entrepreneur, and she has different things, different feathers on her cap. And she is a game changer coach, keynote speaker, multi awardee, and best selling author of the book Play It Full. And she is the founder of Sintal, and she believes that she can attain. We all can attain incredible aspects in all forms of our life, and like achievement, health, relationship, and not only with different time zone but together. So she works upon that, and within 1.5 year when she started her journey as a coach, she was awarded with multiple awards because her impact was such that her clients really appreciated her, and she is working across like 12 countries. And no, she is into like that excellent zone. She is full of energy, she's full of power, and we have to learn from women like you. Welcome Shilpa, welcome again.
Thank you. Thank you, Poonam. So sorry to put you through those difficult words. Firstly, my name, Shilpa Kulshresht. You got it right. It is not easy. And secondly, the name of my company, Scintillate. It is very difficult, but it just means, just for our audience, it means scintillating. Like I like my clients to shine like stars. So that's
Wow,
what.
awesome. So anything else you want to share? Though I shared.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So look, Poonam, you said that there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of power. I see that each of us have got that. It is how we channelize it. So what I do is that I work with people who are ordinary, just like we all are at some point, to help them take actions, to help them figure out their future. So I work with the people who are in their mid career, those professionals who have worked for a few years, maybe 10, 15, 20 years in the corporate. They've been there, they have had the designation, they have worked in multiple areas, multiple departments, multiple projects, they've had the money, but they are at that stage in their life where they feel that their work has become kind of boring, or it is not giving them the juices it used to yesterday, but today it is not giving them any more juices. It has become too easy, or they are putting in too many hours as proportionate to the, they're not getting rewarded in proportionate to their efforts that they are putting in. So I work with those people to help them remove the blockers, help them get in complete alignment with themselves and figure out a way ahead with clarity, and then hold their hands to help them meet those goals and actually achieve those dreams. So that's what I do. And in the process, because I have a coaching business myself, and thankfully I was able to do a good job at it, despite the initial hurdles. I help new coaches set up their businesses, because I see there are a lot of coaches in the market today. It's flooded with coaches, but from what I know, 90% of the coaches are not doing financially. So I help them set up that business model so that they can not only create an impact, but also make money in the process. Because If the passion is not making money, then after a while, everything collapses. So that's what I do, just to add on to what you already said.
Wow, that's really great. So it's really motivating to find out some woman influencer who is helping. Otherwise, we see men are usually doing this job. So you are breaking stereotypes. But uh, we will be also interested to know about your journey, that how this emerged as a passion and how you do like followed up till yours. So we will start from your childhood. So wanted to know, like, want to know how was your childhood, and what was the things or any incident which helped you to do what you are passionate about now. Anything you can share with us?
Absolutely. So in my childhood, and it's funny that you ask it, because few days back I had my dad's 21st anniversary since he was gone, and I was like, kind of remembering my childhood, thinking about him, and I remembered, my childhood, and because I thought about it on 12th of April, which was his anniversary, I thought that my childhood was made up of three things, literally. One is passion. So my dad, he was a professor, and my mom was a principal in a school, and
Wow.
I spent my childhood seeing him, take a break from his day job. So his day job was teaching, and he loved teaching, but he was passionate about this thing called scouting. So he was a district commissioner for scouts and guides, so he just loved it. And he was passionate about teaching the blinds. So I had spent my childhood seeing him doing his day job, but spending, after finishing his day job, spending a lot of time on doing things that he loved and really taking it forward. He, in those days, and this is what I'm talking about, is in the 70s, in 1970s, he went to UK. He went to London, which is not,
Wow.
nowadays it's not a big thing, but that time it used to be, considering the resources which we all had. He landed up in London, and he went just all over for his passion. So that, I think, was my initial introduction to it. I didn't understand it then, but I've seen the juices flowing in his body, he taking a lot of pleasure in it, and I think that somewhere was my first introduction to the word passion. The second thing, what I got from my childhood was priorities. So we were a very lower middle class family, where the income was just, how in the teaching household it is not much. uh, and I remember my parents making their choices and spending almost all their money on our education. So we were three siblings, spending everything on the education. So we went to the best schools. And at home, we had literally two dresses all through the year, just two dresses, and we would just go everywhere in that. Very simple food, but um, education. So I learned how to invest in myself from there. So priorities, knowing my priorities, day to day food and everything, as long as it is healthy, it is fine. Clothes and all, you can just, you can manage with the minimum, but invest in the right things which can build the future that you want. So I'm really grateful that they provided it. The third thing what I learned is, so one is passion, second is priorities, third is proximity. So my dad created the proximity of like-minded people. So I always remember in my house, there were people, like, there was not a moment when I remember our doorbell was not ringing, and they were educationalists, people who were doing PhD under him. They'll come, and there was so much conversation about various topics. So he taught how to create the proximity which can lift you up. So I would say those are the three things that come to my mind when I talk about my childhood, and
Wow.
I'm sure it went somewhere in my psyche.
Very nice. Means I think everything in this one question only you have covered, because you figured out and you are working on it. The passion with pleasure is like something we all need to know, because if we are passionate, we should remember that pleasure should be there, right?
Absolutely.
And so you figured out, and like you have learned, and you applied it. So I think that's why you are doing great.
Yeah,
So
I would though say, Poonam, like, it was not that I figured it out. I had to go through my own pain, my
Yeah.
own journey, and my own struggles. But somewhere, because I had seen that happening, it was easy for me to connect with the word passion, which is just a buzzword nowadays. Everybody talks about passion, and I was like, what is it? I don't know what my passion is, but it just prompted me to think deep into it and bring out what is it that I love. And that's how I am where I am today.
Very true, very true. We need to actually find out. It's there everywhere, but how we channelize it is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, as you told that the passion has become very common, but then how you found the difference of what passion you had, and how did it help you out?
Yeah. So that's a very good question, because I think a lot of us are struggling with it. And we see people, like, if you see social media, it is full of people, they seem to be really passionate about things. And I see some people wondering, how the hell did they figure it out, right? So I was at this stage 2 years back. So having a corporate career of 16 years, um, when 2 years back in 2019, my position became redundant in a company. And at that point, I did a sense check. I took a step back and I said to myself, only those people who are not doing well, they are asked to leave. I was given 5 months, but it doesn't matter, 5 months, 5 minutes, or 5 days. And it was very clear to me that I was not playing my top game. So I said, no more picking up a job. So there were a few choices at that point in front of me, but I said, no more going back to the corporate. Let me take this time off and introspect, figure out what is it that I want, get an alignment with myself. So I packed my bags literally and landed up at Tony Robbins' private island in Fiji. I started working on myself for the next few months. I think I literally just stopped everything and just started looking inside. And what I realized as a result of it, because I flew to the best strategy gurus in the world, learned from them, because I knew that the person that I was at that point of time, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing today. So I didn't know what I would do, but I just knew that I had to work on myself. And then I figured out that what is the thing that has been giving me the juices always. I had worked in multiple countries, multiple clients, with the best names like Deloitte, Tech Mahindra, startups, Westpac. I when I gathered myself, I realized that the thing that I loved most was seeing growth around, enabling people. So people would come to my team, and I would give my all the support, everything that I could do to make them successful. And they would keep coming back to me year after year for various advices, asking me about their professional life, personal life. And it was such a joy to see them grow. And then I realized that it was never about systems or processes for me, which I did all my life for 16 years. It was about people. And that's where I realized that I have done this work on myself over the last few months. And I see a side of me which is very powerful. I had not seen this side of me for all of those 16 years. And if I could do it, other people can do. And with my passion to enable growth, what can be a better job than being a coach? So that's what pushed me into it. I didn't think much. Like, I see a lot of people evaluate whether I'll be successful or not. I just jumped into it. I just realized that this is giving me juices. I took two people, I gave them free coaching. Those were the two people who were in my proximity at that point of time, and I loved it so much, and they got so much success. When I saw the results that I created, I was so proud of myself. I fell in love with that self-image of myself. And that's what started my journey of passion, coaching people to find their best self. You muted, Poonam.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, it's really amazing to listen. We see, though we know that sometimes it's very much essential to work upon our own self, but then we just keep on delaying. So the step you took, usually we see it in movies only that we feel and we are going and we are really working on our own self. But hats off to you. This is a lesson we all should learn, that it is very much important to take breaks also. And if, because if we are healthy and if we are working on our own self, automatically our capabilities will increase, and we will do we will be better version of our own self. So like, it's really inspiring. I think in every questions I will be just telling this is really very inspiring. But yeah, I like, it's very much important what you did, and it's great.
Thank you.
So now we all see ups and downs in our life, and how who all were your inspiration in this journey which kept you going through?
Okay, so I think my inspiration, um, I would say, in addition to the coaches that I had, because I feel that everybody, each one of us should have a coach. I am a coach. I not for a day since 2019 I have stayed without a coach, and I'll never stay, because I know the magic which I can create for people as a coach, and what my coach can create, and what his coach can create for him. So one is my coach. So that was one thing. The second thing is, I call myself a huge follower of Tony Robbins. I think he's the one who changed my life. And he's somebody I found of huge ethics. There's a value alignment. And I feel that at points in my life, wherever I was lost or wherever things were not going as I would have liked them to, his program or something, touched chords, and there was an aha moment. And something came out of listening to him or watching him speak or doing his program. So I would say Tony Robbins. And then comes my husband. So my husband had jumped into coaching just few months before me. So I would say he was like, seeing him, so he was a director in Cognizant, and seeing him live his corporate life for 22 years, and the excitement that I would see in his eyes when he would get up, when he became a coach and he was doing all that impact, he would literally jump from the bed, whereas earlier it would be like, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, all those usual things. And the kind of happiness I saw in him, I'm sure it was instrumental in making me find my way in a similar area. So I think that was there. And thirdly, I think it was my daughters. They kept us going, because the trust they had in us, two teenage daughters, the trust they had in us, and they cheering us up all along the way, I think that cannot be underestimated.
Wow. I was actually going to ask you, because I had seen in your LinkedIn post where you, and I think you and your husband both are big fan of Tony Robbins, and you follow them. And I think he is the source of energy.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
and yes, I am also like a follower of him, because and many of them, who are in this coaching or mentoring section, they are actually deriving, and they are doing really good. So, wow, it's really inspiring. Now, I want to know about your struggles and what challenges you faced in your journey, and how did you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, no story is built without the challenge. In fact, the story is built when there are challenges, when you are at the rock bottom. So I would say, Poonam, no matter how rosy it sounds today, it wasn't easy. It was really not easy, because you're in the corporate, you are at a position where, I noticed people flock to me because of my position. But suddenly everything was gone. And including the money in the bank, it just kept draining, because we were eating into our savings. Now that I told you that my husband and I, both of us, were almost at the same time we jumped, so it was like money kept draining, and we were there. We knew we could create results, which is what we were creating, but we realized that the word of mouth is so slow, right? So it takes time to build up the things. And we realized that one of the things that we were not good at, though we were great at delivery, we were great at creating results, the problem area for us was sales, because we never, when you're working in a corporate, when you're working for somebody else, you never get to go out in the market and say, okay, this is what I'm selling. But this is very different. You've got nobody, there's no team, and you're going all alone in the market, and you're saying, okay, I am providing this service, I can get you rock solid results, I can completely transform my life, but pay me this because I think this is what my worth is. It's a very different ball game. It was not easy to say, and the conviction with which I'm saying today, definitely it was not there. I would lie if I say it was there. So it was like you were assessing how much should you charge, and whether people would charge and all. Those kind of things, questions were coming. So it was a huge learning for us, and that was the time when we thought, there was a point where the savings in our bank, they were reduced to $568, and there were a lot of adjustments we did. I see that most of the people go to a stage till the time it is comfortable for them, and as soon as it starts getting hard, that's where they leave. But that's where they're just near the destination. So that part where it started getting hard to the destination is where it involved a lot of compromises for us, small things. I have kind of forgotten, because after that journey has been over, it was like, we drawing a wall in our house and giving a portion of it on Airbnb, because we couldn't afford the weekly grocery. And then it was about asking our daughters when they would go out with friends, don't eat out. It was not easy to tell to your teenager, don't eat out, come back home and eat. And it was about asking the bank to stop the mortgage. So all those financial, challenges, they all cropped up. But we realized that if at this point we stop, then there's no going back. So there was a definite urge to go back to the job, because we were in high paying jobs, but we said no, let's keep going at it. We borrowed $100,000 from a friend, and thankfully we've got friends who had complete confidence in us. We borrowed it and we kept going, invested in ourselves, and this is the money which we leveraged to go through the, go and learn sales and other skills which were required for us to be successful. And in our very first year, we ended up making 500,000 US dollars. That's where we went.
Wow.
So with the struggles were definitely there. Difficult times were there. I remember we pacing in the backyard and thinking about what new should we do tomorrow. All those times were there. But then once you learn the things, once things start working out, it's very easy. So it's just a little push we have to do when things start getting hard.
Wow. Yes, the struggles are always there, and your story will inspire many because it happens then when struggles are there. And usually, at our level, personal level with our spouse, sometimes we adjust, but when it comes to the kids, then we think a lot. So, at least, as it is a journey and we have to move ahead, so the your journey or how you shared, how you did this will inspire because many of us are in that phase where we struggle and we that time we don't know how will be the future or how will we be able to make that big or not. But then you have given a very strong message that like those struggles and challenges will face, but we have to be consistent and believe in ourselves, and at the end we will see the result.
Absolutely. And there's one more battle, Poonam, that we women have to fight. Always we consider our family more important than us. And when we go through this journey of passion, there's urge that, should you give it up? Because nothing is worth more than the peace and the happiness of the people. And you should go back to the job and it's okay, but, that is the biggest fight that we women have to fight and win. Because if you are in your if you're living your passion, you will be more happy, and you will be doing things that your children will be more tempted to pick up, because you are a role model, rather than you sitting at home doing something that you don't like, and telling the children to do well. It's better for you to do something and the children will pick it up.
Absolutely. And yeah, I was going to ask you that as a mother, and you both of you are in this job and mentoring other. So how did you balance your work as well as your family?
I think the key is one of the mantra that we work with is plate full. You would have seen it on our social media walls and everything. It's plate full. Plate full in whatever you do. You need to play it full in your achievements. You need to play it full in your health, and you need to play it full in your relationships. And if this triangle, any part of it collapses, your entire life collapses. So there's time to work. There's time to create results. There's time for the clients. There's time to live your passion, and then there's time to take care of your health, so we've got personal trainer who works with us, and with Zoom these things have become more accessible. He works with us, and right in the comfort of our home we are able to work on our health, and our daughters are able to work on their health. And thirdly, then there is time for the family. So no matter how busy we are, we need to take our time for the family. And I'm really proud of my girls, the way they are taking charge of their life, and the responsibility that they have shown. Really really proud of them. And the fact that my elder one, she did her year 12, which is a crucial year, the same year when we jumped into coaching, and she got a national level rank. She sorry, state level rank, not a national level rank, state level rank. And she was picked up by the NSW government in the Young Writer Showcase Awards. Her work was picked up, so she has
Wow.
done very well. And my younger one is also doing very well. So I think that happens only when you are able to give time to the family, sit together, have those moments. Otherwise, life is too short. You have to do justice to all the three areas of your triangle.
Wow. So true. And really very motivating and inspiring, because for our kids, we though we tell them anything, but whatever we practice, they learn that only.
Yes.
So, and very good mantra you shared about this triangle, where we have to focus on all the aspects. It's not that if we just focus on one aspect, after some time everything will collapse. And I think this pandemic also we have learned this thing that we have to think and work on all the aspects.
Yes, absolutely.
So, now my last question to you. As a Sampurna Nari yourself, what is the one message you want to give out to all the Sampurna Nari who are listening to you?
Right. So I think I'll bring out something different, which probably I haven't thought about. While talking to you, something came to my mind, and I think I'll make that my message. For us women, we take a lot of pride in multitasking, and we are capable of it. A lot of us, I remember time I'm traveling in the bus, and I'm, fixing extracurricular activities for my kids, paying the bills, and all those kind of things. We tend to be really good in that. But the thing is, if we can, at sometimes we can just let, we are juggling so many balls all the time that sometimes we are so scared of letting even one of that fall. What if we let some of that fall sometimes? Like, what will happen? What worse can happen? Yes, some things will not work, but some things will work greater than what we have expected. So what I would say is that rather than sitting on the balance and trying to balance everything, which is which takes such a toll on our body, rather than trying to balance everything, let the seesaw go up, experience the highs. Because we never let ourselves experience the highs. We kept ourselves so strained. Experience the highs. Yes, there'll be lows, but those highs will cover up for the
Yeah.
lows. So, and that's where you will feel that you have lived a full life. So that would be my message to the women out there, that just don't keep yourself constrained. Yes, don't just be an enabler for others, be an enabler for yourself as well, and experience life, all the highs and lows, because that's what makes it complete.
Wow. So true. And uh, like I hope that women who are listening to us to take this message and apply. It will really it's priceless, the things which you are sharing with us. And all of us require each other's motivation, so that we go ahead. And this is the time where we have to learn and grow together. So thank you so much for your inspirational talk. You like in this 30 minutes, you have shared so much with us. So definitely, what you share with your uh, whom you are mentoring also must be getting a lot. So thank you so much. And also the message you shared was with Sampur Naris is like, yes, we juggle a lot, and somewhere it's all right if we don't something falls also. So thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Poonam. And I would love to share a copy of my ebook for those people who are interested. So I'll just send it, the link to download it in the chat to you, and you can share it with the group.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Poonam.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. It was really our pleasure to be with you and understand this, and hopefully we see you again. Your energies and all that. Keep doing the good which you are doing. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you. Thanks, Poonam.
We just end our session.